Hey everybody, it's Lisa Asbell, and I am super excited to see you guys tonight. And I know I got sunshine on my face. And of all the topics that I ever do, thinking, negative thinking, how to overcome all of that is always the number one thing people ask me to talk about. And it comes back over and over. It used to be like, what do you eat? And then I told it all, and what do you do for exercise? And I told it all. And so now, I've been saying since day one, thoughts are not just things, thoughts are everything. And your thoughts have shaped everything you are. You have the sofa because you thought about it before you got it. Most of you have the kids, the husband, all of that, whatever, the car, the home, the duvet cover, because you saw it before you got it. And the same is true with negative thinking. We do get more of what we think about. And if you think thoughts are things, I'm here to tell you that thoughts are everything. And if you're constantly having negative thoughts, if you're constantly really struggling with, like, why do I always go to the negative? Or why am I just like a negative person? Tonight, I'm going to give you a little acronym of WELL. And you already guys know the WELL method for weight loss. Everybody on here knows it. And what is it? It is wait for hunger. Eat one ingredient foods or eat the rainbow. Eat protein and produce, okay? And then it's lean muscle. It is about lean muscle. You guys, you're not living under a rock. I know you're not. And so for that reason, I know that muscle is it. Thigh muscles, walking every day, all of those are habits. And that is the third L, or the second L in well, and that would be learn lifestyle. If I depended on the scale, I would have thrown in the towel. I would not be here. I am proud to say I stepped on the scale today and I am still down 100 pounds. And I fight for it every day. I have to fight for every ounce. I have to say no when I want to eat it. I have to say no to the cocktail. Everything I've been telling you guys all of these years, I still very much do. Do I kind of wish I'd kept off 130 pounds and then still lost 10? Well, yeah, I don't know. No matter how small you are, you're not going to think you're small enough. And that's why everything I've always done has been focused on health, mental health, physical health, spiritual health, because we aren't just one person. We're one person, but we have this whole three parts of us. And that's why a diet won't work. It's the same reason that lifestyle is so much more important than anything. And you have to determine, do you want to be a woman that has to work really, really hard to still be 30 pounds overweight? Some of you may be like me, my genetics aren't your genetics. My 30 years with dealing with this is not the same as yours. But in many ways, it's very same. It's all the same because insulin and calories and what you put in your mouth, it matters. Whether you get in some cardio or you just walk a little, walking a little won't do it for you. You need to build muscle. You need to do cardio. You need to do some of all of it. And that's for longevity. And today we have to fight for longevity. We have to really fight for it. We are all conditioned with decades of eating too much processed food. Everybody agree with that one? Decades, of processed food. And that's why we keep getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And even people on Ozempic, and you guys know I've coached thousands and thousands of people now, and many on Ozempic or, Tirzepatide, well, all the GLP-1, the injections, okay, the weight loss shots. And many of them can't keep taking it. They have to come off of it. They decide to come off of it. And then they're back to square one with what I call discipline and self-control. And it's not easy. I got up at 4:30 this morning and walked 2 miles, rode my bike 7 miles, and then swam. I'd have to do that because I don't ever want to be 100 pounds heavier. So I had to make the decision that I was going to do all of those things because that's what it would require for me to not get diabetes, to not have heart issues, not to repeat what my poor daddy went through with cardiac issues. And I had to make the decision to do those things for that reason. And I really didn't plan to say all this tonight. This is a bonus Lisa lesson right here. But I haven't seen you all in a long time. And I've missed you very, very much. I'm sorry the sun is in my face like that. I got a new setup. Let's see, did that make it? Oh, that made it worse. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can make this a little bit better. Is that better? Hold on. Let's see. How'd I do? Okay, maybe it's a little better. Okay, that's better. All right, here you go. But I'm super excited to see you all. And I just, I'm here doing it every day. And I do the same things you do. I'm good until 3 o'clock, good until 3 o'clock. And then I'm like, oh, snacks, protein, what can I have? 0 points, I can do the same things you all do. And I talk to you all a lot, so I know what you do. And it's, I've made some big shifts in that direction too. And I'll tell you more about that later. Tonight's really about negative thinking and mindset. And I'm going to say this too. There are many people that I've coached through the years who have a very strong faith. Still bad. I'm going to get this right. Well, hey, I'll be sitting in the dark, but you won't be looking at the light flashing in my face. So sorry about that. I'm usually not on my computer this late. But anyway, so tonight is really about mindset. And it's about negative thinking because, again, I told you guys of all the things I get asked, negative thinking is it. People are like, oh, tell me about negative thinking. You guys already know the drill here. I'm going to get right into it. And I want to start because I want you to understand that I just got a report from YouTube. And a lot of my study that I do is on YouTube. And YouTube sends me all these congratulations. You're like the most like listened to member, like you really, I mean, the stuff you listen to, and they rate it. They know what you're watching, right? And so they sent me a thing saying you have 12,700 hours since 2020. That's learning. That's not talking. That's listening. And it breaks down to 6 hours a day. And it is all cognitive behavioral therapy. It is all motivational wellness. It is all how to biohack your age. It is all longevity. It is all emotional eating. It is all very smart people like Andrew Huberman. It is very, very, very smart people. That's what it is every day. And that is what I'm doing. And and that's with other work that I do, I do other work. And so, when I tell you that this is not something you just pick up in a second and go, I got this now. This is every single day. Many of you guys have a strong faith. Many of you guys are believers. It's every single day. If that's what you live by, then there's a guidebook and it's every single day. Okay. And this is no different. It's every single day. And even with the negative thinking, it's every single day to rewire your brain to stop that behavior. I still do it, but I have to catch myself. I have to change my identity and go, look who you are. And I can tell all of you on here right now, is you didn't have to lose 100 pounds and keep it off for 5 years or 5 pounds or 10 pounds. That's not important. You all are very accomplished, successful women who are mothers and grandmothers and caregivers and brilliant business minds, smart women. And do you know, I was 4 years into our journey together before I realized you guys were really just following me because y'all are smart and you're not for that reason. Wait, that didn't sound right. You got it though. That because you appreciated the learning, like you were real. I mean, for me to look at it exactly that way, does that make sense to you guys? That it was like a light bulb moment of like, these women are like intellectual, they're driven. It has nothing to do with my weight loss. It's because I'm driven. I don't know how intellectual I am, but I'm definitely driven. Okay. And but it's just the everyday repetitive, whatever it is. If you love your husband, well, you don't get to choose the days. It's every day. And this is the same, it's all of those things that are just every single day. And it's not about hype. I love cognitive behavioral therapy. And for those of you guys who aren't familiar with that term, I can just say to you that it is really in large just your behavior. Your behavior. If we can take their brain and tie it to behavior and get them to do it over and over and over, we can help them change their life. And that's what my teaching is rooted and grounded in science, nursing-based evidence, MedMD. I could go on and on. It's not just YouTube. Those are motivational learning. So a lot of educational there too. I'm there. So, but we get stuck. Like, why did we get stuck? You guys see Rosie in the background. Why did we get stuck? Sometimes it's childhood conditioning. Sometimes you don't even know. Repeated failure with those neuron and there's neural pathways that then are seem hardwired and hard coded not to be changeable. But that's not true. That's not true. Our brains are malleable. We didn't know that for hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years. But now we know that your brains absolutely can be rewired. You can wake up one day a totally different person. People do it all the time when they have a head injury. They do it all the time when they have other types of there's some real big phenomena out there. But for most of us, it's repeated over and over again in a daily decision because we know what we don't want. You don't always know what you want, but you know what you don't want. And you have to build on that, knowing this information, because the past does shape our patterns. It shapes our beliefs. And honestly, I've got a lot of work on identity. And on my YouTube channel, if you guys have not heard anything about my identity work, you should go over there. Okay. And Ed Milet is also one of my gurus. There's things about him I love, not everything, but Ed Milet does a lot of work on identity. Tony Robbins does a lot of work on identity. And it's all because if in your thoughts you're this way, if you don't start to change who you are and see yourself in a totally different light, probably like everybody else would see you, right? No matter what you weigh, that is how you change. It's shifting of the identity. Okay. And again, this is everybody. This is everybody. And I have been around a minute all over the world. And I've never met anybody that didn't say, this is a problem. It's a problem for me. And I try to be like, get up every day, choose joy, choose happiness, no matter what I'm going through. That's my personality. That's what I try to do. But really, I tell you, that pull to stay in the muck and to stay down, even when things like health-wise might be going on or family issues going on, and you just want to get in that repetitive loop, okay? Here's the good news, right? They might be negative and they might be repetitive, and they are. You guys think the same thoughts over and over and over every day. We're thinking the same thing. Get up, 6 o'clock, gotta feed the dogs, gotta put dinner on, gotta, gotta get dressed for work, or, oh my God, I gotta step on the scale. Oh my God, I bet you I have binge eat again today. I don't know. But you have those same repetitive thoughts. Man, I wish I could give up those chips. I know I can't give them up. I've been a failure. I've been doing this wrong all this long. I cannot get back. But you know what? You got to break that loop. And most of the thoughts we have are not true. I think the number's like 95% of things we worry about never happen. Never happen. And thoughts are the same thing. The problem with thoughts, if you think it too much, if you think about it, you bring it about. And if you keep thinking negative, oh, my sister-in-law, oh, my mother-in-law, oh, my health, oh, my husband, oh, my weight. If you keep thinking in that direction, you're not going to be able to turn it around. You're going to have to stop yourself from doing that. We all have our top few. We have our top. I wish I had a picture of the well wheel here. For those of you guys, elisaasbell.com/free /free. There's a bunch of older videos there, but there's also a later video that talks about the well wheel. Okay. And all of my training on the last couple of years in coaching has been around the well wheel. It's how I improved my life. It's how I took just not just the weight, but the relationships, the career, the spiritual. It's how I took all of those things to end up with a fabulous life, you know? And honestly, but it started with my thoughts and it started with learning to reframe them. Okay. And this is what we're doing tonight. So this is going to be the think well method. Okay. So this is the think well method. And it's basically WELL, witness the thought. What is it? What are you thinking? You all know your own negative thoughts. And some of you have a lot more negative thoughts. You're not even aware you're having. You don't even know they're negative. You just think it's an opinion, but it's negative. And if you think about it, you're going to bring it about. And I don't care if it's, oh, I know she's not going to change. Oh, I know I'm not going to change. Oh, I know he's not going to change. If it's unforgiveness or people that have hurt you that you can't move past. I mean, everything matters. And if you had the well will right here and you're looking at every area of your life, with the big one being your joy, right? That's the whole point of all of this, to have a joyful life. Joy covers all of those. If you need a tune up in the spiritual piece, get it. If you need a tune up in the weight piece or the health piece, you better get it. If you need a tune up in finances, go get it. If you need a tune up with your career, be about it. That's why I got 12,000 hours on YouTube in 5 or 6 years, because I am about it. I want to learn. I know you can change. I am free from food. I am not obsessed with food in any way at all. I can take it or leave it. I don't beat myself up about the scale. I don't care. I weigh. If it's 98, if it's pounds down, if it's, 102 pounds down, I just try to go, you know what? Look what I've done. 2,131 days in a row, not missing any exercise, not just walking, biking, swimming, you name it. Muscle building, outdoor gym, stationary bike, resistance band. My son walked in my office the other day and he goes, Mom, I didn't realize you did all this. And I go, yes. And then I just grabbed the weights and I threw them up in the air, the dumbbells, and he goes, wow, I'm really surprised. I go, really? Like, what do you think I'm doing over here? And he also lost 100 pounds and he's kept 80 off. You gotta keep that weight for 2 years to get about 2 years to get a new set point. And that's a whole nother story. But witnessing the thought, examining it, like, is it true? Labeling it, you know, and then living the shift. Living the shift. This is so important because that's that every day. You got to do it every day. Okay. All right. So watch the thought. What just ran through my mind? What led to this? I don't know about you guys, but if something's wrong with me physically, I haven't been so blessed to be so healthy, no medications, nothing. I would have been in a wheelchair and on 15 meds, okay, had I not lost and kept off the 100 pounds. All right. But I don't know about you guys, but I got to tell you, I mean, the stuff that can come through your mind, even when you've been successful, I don't care. You could be successful at whatever and your mind can just take over. But the whole point is to be able to shift it, is to not judge yourself for it. These are random thoughts that everybody has it. Okay. But if you attach yourself to it, if you take your identity and you keep attaching your identity to that, that's when change is nearly impossible. Does this make sense to you guys tonight? Am I on the right call? Are you with me? You got to watch your thoughts, and every one of you know what yours are. It could be, I don't want to binge eat today, or it could be, something about your spouse. I mean, it could be, again, you take the well will in all these areas of life. We all got 10,000 thoughts in each direction. Being aware is your power. If you don't understand, listen, if it doesn't make you feel great, then examine it. Okay. If it doesn't make you feel great, examine it. Is it true? Is it helpful? Does it belong to me? You know how somebody else can pass their opinion on you and all of a sudden that becomes your opinion of yourself? I got this cool thing. I don't care what people think about me. I don't. I don't. I don't care. And my mother is like, wow, I'm just amazed. And I don't care. I'm who I am. I'm my truest me. I'm my true blue self. And I put it out there, and you guys can relate to that. That's why you're here. Okay. Using the cognitive behavioral therapy lens. Okay. Thoughts are not facts. If you guys remember way back, and man, I just talked to her a couple weeks ago. We're doing some coaching together, and Catherine Hanson of Brain Over Binge. And if you're having a hard time again with those thoughts, those urges, and we're talking about food now, okay, you need to go back into that book. Get over there in her podcast, okay? She's done phenomenal work. And it's all about tuning it back. And one of the things I learned from her is you don't have to attach any meaning to it. You don't have to. That's your choice to attach a blue cow. Well, I don't know why I just said that. Okay, it's a random thought, right? Why would I attach meaning to that? So you're having a lot of random thoughts, maybe from trauma, maybe from repeated failures, that first slide. That might be true. But you absolutely, through understanding that, first of all, if you are ruminating on things from the past, we have a lot of work to do. You got to let all that go. Yesterday, if you ate your face off, if you lost 50 pounds when you met me and you've gained 75, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's today. It's what you do today that matters. Not even tomorrow. It's what you do today that matters. And if this negative thinking has really gotten you in a loop and you find that this is you, this is you, this is you, then you need to take this WELL now and get yourself a little notebook. And every time one comes up, you need to examine it. And we all have been told since children, if it's not helpful, it's not yours. It doesn't belong to you if it's not helpful. You hear me? I don't care who said it. I don't even care if it's partly true. If it's not healthy, it's not yours. Let me say that again. Even if it is true, if it's not helpful, it's not yours. Would you say it to a friend? Would you say it to a child? Would you say it to your grandmother? Would you say it to a granddaughter? Would you? Would you say those things that you say to yourself? I said something the other day. I broke something. And there's this little video. This is a sidebar. But there's this little video, and it's got this little cat, it's AI, and he's talking, and he said something, and he called it stupid ass. And I was laughing to myself when I broke that cup, and I was like, you're a stupid ass. I was having a good time with myself. But, the truth is that we say a lot of things we wouldn't say to our daughter, we wouldn't say to a friend, we wouldn't say to somebody we love. So why would you say it to yourself? And again, even if it's true, if it's not helpful, it don't belong to you. Let that one go, okay? Label it. Name it. Is it fear? Is it guilt? Is it, all or nothing? Oh, that's a big one, isn't it? Here in weight loss land, and trying to live healthy land. It's all or nothing. Perfectionism. If I ate today, then I can eat it all. Or if I didn't exercise for 3 days, I don't ever have to do it again. I'm never going to do it again, or I can eat everything. And there are such a thing as a habit stacking. And part of what you are experiencing is very true. Because if you exercise, most of us are likely to drink a little more water, eat a little healthier, do better thinking because we're going to exercise. Do you know that's the glue that's held me together? And you don't want to hear it if you don't exercise. You don't want to hear it if you're not a consistent exerciser, but it's the glue that'll hold you together. I'm no different than you. I used to watch people run by my house. I'm telling you. And it's so hot in Florida. I'm hot right now. It's so hot and steamy here all the time. And I would go, what is wrong with them? But deep in my heart, I wanted it to be me. Deep in my heart, I was like, I wish I was the healthy, active person in the neighborhood. I wish I was that girl I see running every day. And I am. And that might not be something you ever wished for, but your muscles will determine your longevity. Muscles and lung. Muscles and lung. You keep your muscles good and you keep your lungs good, your heart's going to be good, your metabolic health's going to be good. Muscle and lung. And this is the biggest muscle. This is the biggest muscle. Everybody does it. It's perfectly normal. It's what makes us divinely human because the birds don't have a choice. A cow doesn't have a choice. He doesn't say, today it's steak, tomorrow it's salad. He eats what's there. Okay? We have a choice. And that's what makes us wonderful humans. Okay? It's such a brilliant design, right? You're not broken. All right? Live the new shift. Speak truth over yourself. Do not gossip. Do not do it. Not about your family, not about your children. If you've got a child that's rogue or a grandchild that's rogue, or you got a disappointment or you've got a sibling that don't. Not even just about yourself. Nothing. 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 Do not gossip. Do not put negative out there. Find the best in everybody. I promise you, you'll win there. Speak the truth over yourself. I am learning, I am growing, I know more today. There are a lot of positive statements that you could say that would be wonderful affirmations that would help you. Every time I get down on myself, I'm like, look what you've done. And then I go, thank you, God, because I couldn't do it without you. But, couldn't do it without you all either. Okay. That's the whole point of why we're still here because we're continuing to live our new shift. From the first time you met me, whether I was, no matter what, my dark hair, blonde hair, white hair, headbands, big glasses, you know that I was telling you like what I had actually lived, right? I'm still telling you what I've lived. Nothing has changed. Everything has changed, but nothing has changed. I am happier than when you met me. I'm healthier than when you met me. More successful than when you met me. And all of those things started with my thoughts. I could sit around and I could tell you guys some things, and you would be like, wow, how could you not be in the toilet every day? You know? And I'm just going to say to you, we all have our cross to bear. We all have that one or two things that just lean on us and lean on us. But this is how you change it. Okay. You watch your thoughts and then you examine them. Okay. That is so important. And then label it. Is it fear? Is it just one of those stupid repetitive things? And I'd be careful doing all that too. I'd be careful labeling myself. I'm a foodie. I love food. Don't label your children. Don't label your husband. No, don't speak that. If you're going to label them, speak. They're the most wonderful. Say that about yourself too. I bounced back before. This is one of my favorites because it's true, isn't it? I often ask on these calls, I will say, how many of you guys have ever found a way that you lost 5 pounds and you enjoyed it? And you were like, okay, that's something I can do. And every single time, 100% of the people say, me, I found a way. I know whether it was Weight Watchers or Noom or keto, it doesn't matter. I've coached all kinds of people, vegetarians, okay, vegan, it doesn't matter. Okay, keto, I don't care, carnivore, all of it. It's a matter. It's their lifestyle. If that's the lifestyle they want to live and it works for them, that's great. I really didn't want to be a person to track my food every day. I really don't want to pay for an app. I really don't want to spend money. I paid my share of coaches and still am. I paid my share of many things, okay, in learning and educating myself. But at the end of the day, I wanted a new life. I wanted something different than I was doing. And I had to get up every single day, and I still do, and look at all the positive in the world around me. And anytime a negative, the one of those comes up, it could be the urge to eat. It could be, again, a thought about somebody. It could be an internal thought. It could be, a health challenge you're going through. And those are tough. Aging parents are tough. Siblings and money, financial things, all of it is tough. I mean, I feel it. I don't live in under a rock. I feel all the same things that you all feel. And many of you that I've known personally, I feel like for so long, you all have it made. Many of you all have nice homes and you're not in financial duress. You don't have, any horrific, health issue. And you're very blessed, as am I. And that's where you land. You cannot be miserable, complaining, and be moving in the right direction. The only way to move in the right direction is positivity. And in every area of your life, you could have the worst, you could have the worst spiritual connection of your life, the worst finances of your life, but you could still find all these other things that you could shift yourself and you could shift your thinking. You know what I do when I'm like that? I have days that, how many of you guys have blue days, huh? Put in the chat, me, me, me. Can I see it? How many of you guys have what we call blue days? Maybe not, like true depression, but you just have these days you're having a tough day. Anybody? Yes, me? Anybody say me? 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 Keep going. Keep going. Come on. Come on. Tell it. Me. 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 I had one 2 weeks ago. And I cried. I laid down on the bed and cried. And my husband was like, "What is going on?" And I was like, it was a stressful day. And so I know, I understand the family, the finances, the career, the weight. Did I do it all? Why am I still struggling with this at 60 or 70 years old? Why haven't I figured this out? You are normal. You're normal. None of us have it figured out. You think the doctors have it figured out? They have it figured out less than anybody. And they're the smartest people in the world. You think anybody has it figured it out? Haven't you guys heard it? We're all faking it. A lot of you have met me, I'm joking there. But I mean, it's true. And that's because we are living in the new shift, to be able to say, listen, there's a lot of crap going on in my life, but there's a lot of good. And to tear down your circumstances or to tear down your past or to tear down the mistakes you've made, I don't care if it's weight, I don't care if it's marriage, I don't care if it's you're a crappy parent, I don't care. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you do today. And so for today, you have WELL. And you can learn to catch those thoughts. You can learn to examine them. You can learn to sit with it. You can learn to, why do I always feel the need to have the next thing? It's an oral fixation. Well, if you're going to have one, let it be water. Okay. Don't let it be snacking. Let it be gum. Let it be brushing your teeth. Don't let it be snacking. Don't let it be always having something in your mouth. No, you get to choose that. You get to live a new shift. And I'm going to tell you something. If you want to take off a bunch of weight and keep it off, you've got no choice. You hear me? You've got no choice to fall out of love with all the processed food. And I don't care if it's dairy and fattening and cheese. It doesn't matter if it's bread, if it's pasta, if it's like me, mine, I like sugar. You got who don't? You got to find a new shift. You got to find a new way. You are not going to stop loving pasta ever. Okay? Ever. I have never, ever, ever met anybody long term that kept off. Number one, very few people keep it off. Okay. But I've never met anybody that's kept off weight any time that totally did without all that stuff. They learned to minimize it. They learned that it could not be front and center. And this is no different with your negative thinking, whether it's about on the well will, right? Whether it's your family, whether it's your spiritual life, whether it's your personal life, whether it's your career, whether it's your mistakes, whether it's your finances, it doesn't matter. You can live a new shift. And you don't have to know exactly what you want, but you know what you don't want. And I'm telling you, you keep thinking negative, you keep gossiping, you keep speaking about people, saying the negative, you're going to keep that repetitive loop, even not just for yourself. I promise you, it's a package deal here. You can't speak positive about yourself and negative about everybody else. It won't work. How many? No, I'm telling the truth here. How many? Let me see it. Yes. Yes, Lisa. I'm telling it tonight now. You'll have to say, boys, you told it tonight. You was ready. Am I telling you the truth here? I am. You can, it won't, that doesn't even make sense. That's two different talkings. If you talk negative to yourself, you're more likely to talk negative about everybody else, and you have to stop it all. Oh, that's enough of that. Man, that's a whole nother Lisa lesson. All right, some journal prompts for you guys, and then we'll be closing up. What thought have you been believing? You know what I pray every day? I pray to see the unseen, and I pray not to be deceived. I'm serious. I'm like, I want to see the things that maybe I would miss. Let me see the unseen. I got a glimpse. That's where the whole well blueprint came from, because I got a glimpse at what would happen in 10 years if you don't change. And it's not even just change. I mean, you got to go full force. You got to find the gumption here to go full force. And you are normal. The blue days, the all of the shoulda, woulda, couldas, everybody does it. But you know what? You can pull yourself out of it. You get out of bed, you put on your shoes, you go for a walk. You get on YouTube, you listen to a podcast. You go over to Andrew Huberman and you learn something. You go over to Mel Robbins and you learn something. You go over to Tony Robbins and you learn something. You go over to Lisa Asbell on YouTube and you learn something. That's what you do. What emotion does it bring when you have this thought? What emotion does it bring? Sadness, fear, terror? Sometimes it's just mindless when it comes to eating. It's just mindless. Most of this is just mindless. You're not sitting around trying to think negative. You just do because you've been stuck in that pattern. And this is how you break it. But this takes work. This is discipline. When do you do it? Every single day, all day, all day. Don't think that way. Don't say that. So many times I want to say something and then I'm like, don't say it. Because even if it's true, if it's not helpful, why would I say it? So much to learn, isn't there, about life and living and doing it right? The process, the joys and the journey. If it's not helpful, even if it's true, it don't do you any good. I don't care if it's your brother and he's wrecking your life. I don't care if it's your parents and the way they parented. I don't care if it's you and how you parented. I don't care if it's your child, your sibling, your job, your coworker. You got a terrible boss. You got an awful coworker. I don't care. Your husband, it doesn't matter. If it's not helpful, even if it's true, I wouldn't be saying negative out of my mouth. I catch myself every day. I do. Okay. Poor Wayne this weekend. I was on it this weekend too. I have to work on it every day. What new thought do I choose? What new thought do I choose? I've been teaching this kind of for a long time, but not in this way and not like with the WELL acronym. So you guys will remember it that way. I know you'll remember it better. But, what else can I choose? What else can I choose besides that? I think that's important, don't you? Um, repeat the well, repeat the steps daily. Watch, examine, label, and live. That's how you're going to break the cycle. Okay. And, one of the first trainings I ever did on thinking was called Think Well. And so that's why I added it to this. I hope you guys like it. That's it. That's it for me tonight. That's it for me tonight. I'd love to see anybody if you want to come on. Hello, hello, everybody. Anybody? Anybody want to say hello? Hey, Virginia.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm excellent. How are you?
Doing pretty good. I didn't end up having cancer, but I ended up having to have a lumpectomy back in the spring, And then I have to do radiation just because for preventative stuff and everything. So I have my 20th one tomorrow and I'll be done with it. So, that's good. But, when you have those negative thoughts, you start to think, why me? What's happening? And all that. But then you think, I was lucky that I didn't have some of the other things that, could have been wrong and everything. And I always try
I'm
to,
sorry, Virginia.
well,
I'm
try
sorry,
to stay,
Virginia, but I'm glad you got good news, really. Yeah.
yeah, I try to stay positive. I felt bad because they wanted to do another article on me on Women's World. They had called and wanted to come do a photo shoot or something. And I said, oh, I can't do it right now because I'm in the middle of all this, going on.
Oh,
And they said, well, they'll contact me later, and
they'll be back.
yeah, they said their prayers and everything. But my husband and I would be in the doctor's office, and we always try to be positive. And I always say, I'm not going to borrow trouble, and and keep a good frame of mind when you're going through all this. And the doctor said, you're not like normal people. He said, when I see in my office, he said, you really, you have a positive outlook on it. You want to follow the directions to stay healthy. You want to do all those things, and you want to follow the doctor's advice and everything. And he said, you're not, most people, are more negative about
Yeah.
everything. And I said, no, you gotta stay positive. If people are negative, I try to distance myself from them because
Yes.
negativity breeds more negativity. If you've ever had friends that start to get divorced and then they complain about their husbands, and pretty soon somebody else has gotten divorced because they're complaining about their husband, and it just doesn't do any good to surround yourself with negative people. And that's one thing I've always liked about you, Lisa. You're always very positive. And when you think about the stuff, you think of the positivity that's going on, and you think, if I hadn't done all the well and found you like 5 years ago, and I have put some of the weight back on, and it's been hard not doing all the exercise that I like to do because of a little bit more fatigue and things, and I can't swim because of the radiation and stuff. But
Oh,
I'll get back to it, and I'll be but I started back walking and doing my cardio and everything. And they said, are you fatigued? And I said, well, no, I've never been 72 before, so how am I supposed to feel? But even
oh,
getting onto the table and doing the stuff, they said, you have more stability than most people. You could just get up on the table and do it at your age, and everything. And I'm, well, if you stay exercising and you stay healthy, when you do get obstacles in your life, then you're healthy. So, I mean, if that makes sense, you're,
no, it does. Listen, Virginia, everybody on here, we all love you,
uh,
okay? And some women on here have experienced what you're going through.
yeah,
And so, and honestly, I have not, but I can just tell you, I can get a headache and it gets me in the mully grubs, okay? So, so honestly, I just, we love you so much, and you have been such a great leader here. I mean,
well, thank
everybody
you.
just loves you, and you've just been the most wonderful leader. And I don't know, so I know you're going to be fine because you're a trooper,
Yeah,
and you're a smart woman too. So
I
and
know
yes,
I'll be
and you
fine.
know what? I can honestly say it's the same thing on, I thank God every day that I can exercise. And
Yeah,
that's why on days that I can do three things, I do. If I can
right.
get it in, if I have the energy to just do it all day on the weekends, I just go
Yeah,
all day long. I
yeah,
wear
get up.
myself
Do it.
out,
I know.
and yeah, because I do more sitting, working during the week. And so on the weekends, I just go like a mile, wild woman. And so I know how much that hurts you because you're used to that too,
Oh,
and
I
it's really, it's very hard. So you know what, Virginia, we will all pray for you.
oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I
Absolutely.
believe in the power of prayer. I'm a spiritual
Well,
person, and you got to have a well-rounded life, as we've always said. It's not just about the weight, it's about the health and about relationships and about, staying positive. And, I have a ring that I've always wore that says choose joy, in life. When things happen, you should choose joy, because there's always something to be thankful for in life. And,
oh, you're
you know,
right.
but I appreciate all of you too. It's always nice. I like to come on and get my inspiration and everything.
Oh, we
So,
all got inspired tonight, Virginia.
yeah.
You inspired everybody
Oh,
now.
well,
Does
thank
anybody else want to share? Thank you, Virginia. We love you. We're
Uh,
all praying for you.
uh,
Listen, you email me anytime now. Anybody
oh,
else want to share? Debbie?
yes. How are
Hey,
you? I'm so
Debbie.
glad. I'm so happy to see everybody in Virginia. I will pray for you as well. You still are an inspiration. God bless you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask you, could we go back to what do you do with that 3 o'clock witching hour?
Well, okay.
That's my word.
This is a master class.
I know.
No, honestly, I personally, what I found, I had to switch it up. I had to start eating a little bit earlier in the day. I had to stop. I had to switch my fasting hours. And when I say fasting, I don't mean not a little snack or a little something small, but I switched my fasting hours really from about 4 or 5 p.m. till 10 in the morning.
Oh, okay. I do mine
And
from
that stopped it for
7
me.
from 6:30 to 11. But what I've learned is the 3 o'clock still gets me, but I've been having herbal tea because I've been doing only 3 things, and I finally hit over 20 something pounds. 'Cause
Oh,
I
look at
switched my whole
you.
life together.
You
I
OG.
Eh,
Your grandchildren are so beautiful and you're such
Oh,
a
thank you.
delightful
So are
person.
yours.
But Debbie, you know what? You answered your own question. If tea helps you, then it's your thing. I
It is.
had to start getting a little bit more protein during the day because that really helped me and helps me eat less at night.
Yeah.
And I do believe the science is there that we're not meant to eat when the sun goes down. And I know that's hard in the winter, but it's the truth. Our bodies are designed to eat when it's light outside, and that's never going to change.
It
That's never
is
going to
true.
change.
Oh, but I love seeing everybody and I adore you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Oh, I love you more.
And I love you
Thank you,
most.
sweetheart. Thank you for the support and the love, honestly.
It's
She's a
there.
Florida girl. She's Virginia's in Ohio, by the way. Anybody else? Anybody else want to come on? Oh, I'm so excited to see you all tonight. And hey, we'll have another one, okay? Email me. How many of you guys would email me a little testimonial and a topic you want me to do for the next one? Anybody? Would you do it? Would you do it for me? You don't have to put your name on the testimonial. Just say, hey, I was on this call, it was whatever, and this is what I got out of it, whatever. Say anything you want, okay? Say anything you want, but I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. What you thought about it, what your takeaway is from it. It's not even for anybody's use other than mine. And then I would love for you to give me some topics. Whatever the hot topic is you guys want to talk about. And masterclass. You guys love the master classes. The master classes have been a huge hit. And I'm going to do another one. And it's probably going to have to do with the whole 3 to 9 thing. And and I might do a help me get it together one. I might do like a whole help me get it together masterclass. I've already put it together, but I'm just not sure if I'm gonna be able to pull it off. So maybe I can't. But anyway, I love seeing your beautiful faces. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the support. I promised you guys I wasn't going anywhere, and here I am. So and here you are. And I couldn't be here without you. Without you all, I would have quit. Without you all, no doubt about it, I would have hit a hard time in my life and I would have just thrown it all away. But I didn't. And you can't either. You just got to keep going. You just got to get up every day and keep going and keep going and keep going. And I promise you that's what I'm going to do. And I love you all. Okay. Have a good night and I will see you soon. Pay attention to your emails. Good
Thank
night.
you, Lisa.
Love you all. Good night.